All right, we're back in it. Just had some breakfast. Hopefully, I'm energized enough. I did make a note here because I did a little, like very, very small amount of work in between this video and the previous one. So I want to talk about the friendly Boolean and automatic texture loading for the battle actor. So I'll delete that and then we'll talk about that. Excuse me. So I added friendly and texture to the battle actor class. Friendly we set to false by default, and then in data, when we initialize it, before we set keys to names, we're calling, for each player and party, we're setting their friendly variable to true. And I think, yeah, I mean, you already got that in a different video. I don't think I talked too much about what's happening in it. It's pretty self-explanatory. That's just a helper function. Back to battle actor. So if it's not friendly, right, if it's an enemy, then we do this to format the name into a way that we can use it to access the art file. And so you can see I have the base. Let me do this. I'm going to drag that in so you can see the actual full path for slime green. So what we do is in data, we have to have our names line up to the file name for this to work. And so what I'm doing here is all in one line. I'm copying name, we're setting it all to lowercase, and then we're replacing spaces with underscores. And then that results in slime underscore green, or for goofball, it would just be all one word. And then we plop that in the middle of that file path string, and we load that into the texture. Excuse me. Now I think I need to duplicate. Might have to duplicate it so that it's not, when we're messing with that texture, it's not impacting each texture at the same time, like if we have a hit effect. So I just made that note there. Excuse me, man, that damn cough. So that's a way to automate getting your enemy art in place. You'll just need to make sure you match your names to that format, right? Alternatively, you could just skip the formatting, and I think you can have spaces in your file names. I'm not totally sure, but this is how I like to handle it. And that's simple enough. And then in the battle actor button, when we set data, we're checking if that texture is valid, and then we set our texture normal to that data.texture. And really, that's incorrect. We want that over here. So battle actor button gets that texture, and then so we've got our slimes. And yeah. Let's see, they're taking damage. Uh-oh. All right. So we have to store that before we set target to null. That way we can use that down here. And don't worry, I'm going to walk through that. So I modified how we determine if the target is friendly, right? Because we have friendly as a variable within the battle actor class. So now we can do that instead of doing that check that we had before. So go ahead and replace that with this. And then down here, you do that check using that variable. We also use it, I think, maybe not down here. We use it in probably find valid target. we just replace it like that. Now I think, yeah, that's what we just did. We already replaced that. And run event just gets the target like that. We already did that. All right, so I think we're all caught up. If I missed something, please let me know in the comments, and I will rectify that situation with an update, whether it's in a video format or a comment. Back to notes. So what do we want to do? I don't know. I mean, the battle system's pretty much like you have what you need to make the loop. The main thing down the road would be like items and magic, but those require item and magic classes, so we could make that. Make some notes. Field menu, field / overworld. I mean, I don't know how far I want to go with this project. Like, we're kind of killing two birds with one stone here. Pardon the gruesome phrase, but or idiom, whatever it would be. Is it an idiom? Euphemism? I don't know. But right, the two things that we're covering here are one, we're covering ATB battle and side view at the same time. And the other thing is Godot 4. Right? So knowing that, you could theoretically like take this as the foundation for going through the previous series and just modifying the code as you go along, right? Like the Godot 3 stuff, it's not a whole lot different. And I think we covered most of the changes here outside of probably tile maps and tweens. So, yeah. I don't really know what I want to tackle at the moment. Let's take a look at the battle. Maybe we get rid of ATB bar for now on the enemies. We could do like hit animations. We definitely need to animate because it's very static. Very, very static. So animating the position might require we could probably use a tween node or an animation player. Let's just rock, no, because then that depends on specific positioning, which would only work if we had, let's see if we can modify the global position. No, that won't work as well. Because animation player depends on hard-coded values. The only way we could get an animation player to work properly on that is if we had the button as a child of a parent class, like a control, or if we just had a button and then we had the texture below it, it just starts getting a little janky. So we're going to try the tween method. And this has changed quite a bit between Godot 3 and 4, so it's going to be a little bit of trial and error for me here. But what I want to happen is push the enemy to the left when they get hit. think we do need to super that. Maybe, maybe not. For now, we'll just do it down here. So we create the hit text. And let's see if we can get this tween to go. We have to do scene. Man. No. My damn cough is just bad. Let's try that. And then let's take a look at it in the manual. Alright, so you can't use tween.new. That's annoying. But it looks like we can just do create tween. And let's just yank that. Ooh, I did not want all of that, jeez. Whatever. Tween dot, what do they call it? It's going to be on self. It's going to be position. Dot actually position X. And it's going to be, well, first off, we need to get start position. Maybe start position. I'm sorry. This is going to be start position. Position.x minus 8. Duration like 0.5. Too many arguments. Property. Oh, there's no start value. Interesting. Baby, get down. Good girl. So we do that, and then we want to yield. Sorry, await. Tween. We're going to make a new tween here. I wonder if I could just stagger them. But for now, we're going to do this. Actually, I should just copy this whole line. And we just want to go back to start position dot x. Maybe that one runs a little bit faster. So let's give that a go. That should work on anyone that's getting hit. Yeah. Now the only problem is we need to figure out which direction to move. And this should also be sped up. And what I want to know is how to change. Yeah, here we go. I don't know if we want that. Let's take a look at tween and see if we can just stagger these. Positions and eases. Oh. Is that how it works? That's pretty awesome if that is correct. Problem is that. And so we need to get direction. Which I think we probably just get our global position and see what side of the screen we're on. If so we want to see player go to the not that way. That works, but the player one doesn't. we might as well make it. We just don't use that one. We'll always kill it at the top. Make a new one. That's the problem. So we want to see the player go to the right when they get hit. Yep. I don't know why they're getting hit so many times there. Let's just see what's going on with the players getting hit. I don't know, it seems alright. Don't need that. Let's give this a function. Let's call it like recoil. Slide. Man. Recoil times recoil direction. Maybe we'll change these. So we will have recoil be separate, but then we're going to make like an action slide. It's going to be the same thing, but we're going to flip the recoil direction, and maybe we'll just make this a little bit longer. So when we act as well as when we attack, should be slide. Oh, we're not calling the action slide. We're also getting some errors. Okay, that must be up here. So we will just do that, and I guess we'll just do that. It's not a big deal. Clear that. See if that gets rid of those. Cool. Now in battle, we need to call the action slide. Which might be a little difficult. try that. So you can use that. Battle actor button can then connect. That way it's decoupled, and it only cares if we're acting, and so we call act there. So I want to see these enemies sliding when they attack. Okay. I forgot to do this. And this one. So right now these are pretty much the same, except we flip the recoil direction and we modified the time a bit. We can go in and fine tune these things. So we want to see enemies sliding. Yeah. And I think we want to delay in the battle. Like, we do a wait. It's going to be like, so before they're going to slide, and there's a little delay, right? I probably increase that a bit. I don't know what happened there. Please report. I don't know. Maybe that's because I changed it midway. It didn't like that or something. Let's see if we get that error again. Everything seems fine. Speed that up. This one we want ease. I think ease in. That's why we want ease in on here. And just speed that up. Yeah, I mean, something like that. Obviously, the timing needs to be fine-tuned, but now we want to see players. Yeah. So the recoil, if change, if sign change, -1. And we want to do some kind of hit effect, which I think we'll actually put into recoil. Because we can tween that animation. Duh, I have to look up how to do the parallel real quick. Oops. I sworn I saw parallel, yeah. To the previous one, okay. So we can still line these up. Let's copy that. Let's get that going. And here we're going to do self-modulate. It's going to be color dot red. Let's try magenta. And we have a little fun with that one. I think transbounce. Maybe ease out. Do we want ease out? Sure. Now, the difference here is that we want this one to be parallel. What do I have to call set parallel? What do I have to call it first? Do it like that. Do parallel. Okay. I think I want to do that at the end. If I can. Seems all right. So I want to see if the color works when we're doing the out. All right, you do have to do this first. And do that, but then we're going to return to white. You know, like start and that's pretty good. We want to turn off the default modulate here. I can just be white balls. And I think the main thing I need to change now is I'm pretty sure the ATB, we don't want to reset that until their action runs. So I'll just comment that out. Take that. I don't know why. I want that whole line. Comment that. That's just how it does it now. Save that. Go to battle. And say ATBQ. Look up reset. Move front. See, because that's how we do it with the players. It's just we also have to wait for the enemies. But it's not really when we advance it. It's when we want when we go through the events. We go to the end. Otherwise, we perform the action. So we need to get the appropriate ATB bar. It's wrong. We want data.party and do that else enemies menu get. It's going to be, let me find the index of the enemies. Enemy data equals actor. Then we want to call enemy dot reset. Something like that. So that's incorrect. Break. Let's get rid of that. Wrong. I want to go up here. So here we actually want to call it highlight false. We don't want to reset the ATB until we're running through the events. And so that's when we do it there. So you'll see that I will send through actions and we stop with the highlight, but our ATB doesn't clear until we perform that action. Not sure why we're getting that error. I do think we want... So we're doing this after the await. But it seems to be happening faster. No, that seems right. When we go to that, we want to clear all of these ATB bars and hide the menu. Was that already an array? It is. So we'll wipe out all the enemies. So I can see it cleared all of them, but it still is running that. Let's try that. Probably. There's definitely a timing issue. I don't know why our timers aren't working. I would guess that for some reason, we have concurrent run events happening. I don't know why it's still going through. Why, Mama? Let's try it there instead of there. I don't know. Logically, that shouldn't matter. See, we're in the victory state, but the event queue is running. Oh, come on. I suppose I could just get rid of it. Like, we could just hide that whole bottom bar. Let's. Anytime we end, but before we hide, we hide those, and then we wait to hide the bottom GUI. What? Sure. Oh, no, I don't think we have to do anything. That should handle that. So if we're at an end state, it'll just exit out of that. All right, I think that's going to cover it for this part. I'll catch you next time. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and good luck making that game. I'll see ya.